Welcome back to another episode of Binge Warmers. I'm your host, William Hopper.
And I'm just doxing my whole name. Well, you know, you've called me Hopper before, and I say my name as well. So if you don't know now, you know.
No, look, you can just bleep that part out, and then
I'm
we
not
can keep the whole bit going.
I'm just gonna leave it in because it's funny.
Okay.
I'm just Steven, I guess.
Okay, yeah, we like that. Actually, you go by Sven.
I'm Sven, yeah. Anyway.
First of all, we want to say thank you for over 100 subscribers. It's huge.
Yeah, we're at 116 or
16 is what I saw today.
And that's just as recording. I'm sure we're gonna have a couple more between the time this comes out.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Our comment question of the day, I think, should be, do you like
green eggs and
Vilgax?
ham?
Sam, I am.
Vilgax.
What?
My name is Jabad.
I like to let the kids rub my legs. You remember that one?
He said something like, my legs get sweaty. Got a lot of hair on them.
Yeah, what is he talking about?
I don't know.
Anyway, so, yeah, I love Vilgax. I think he's my favorite Ben 10 villain of all time. And he's the first character that's ever introduced in the show. Like, he's the first thing we see.
Oh, he is the first thing we see.
Yeah, so I love him without a doubt. So I don't know. It's hard for me to not think about it's hard for me to think about Ben 10 without Vilgax being somewhere in it.
Yeah.
Just meaning I love him to death.
You see Vilgax, he's ready to kill you, and you look at him like, Patrick, I love you.
I love you.
Nice place you got here.
I will say he's not as cool if he's not voiced by Steve Blum, because it's that voice where it's like, Ben Tennyson, I'm gonna kill you.
Like he just commands so much respect.
And Alien Force, he's like, Ben Tennyson.
Yeah, his voice is like too deep. It's like,
I don't like it.
It's like automated a little bit.
And you know, I like the voice actors who do the roles and stuff. I'm not putting anything on them.
No. It's just when you're used to one thing and then you get something different, you're like, that's not it.
Exactly.
It's not it, bro.
This episode's called...
it's a no from me, dog.
It's a no for... What is that?
That's 2000's Randy
was
Jackson.
Was that like an American Idol reference?
Yes, sir, it is.
Wow. 2003's calling, bro.
Yeah. I'm going to hang up on him and get out of here, stinky.
Your extended warranty is... Yeah, that's what they're saying. Anyway, Secrets, is that what it's called?
I believe so.
Episode 13.
Which is kind of funny. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
This episode's called Secrets. Season 2, Episode 1 is called Truths. I saw that right before we stopped watching it.
So that's a little back.
Yeah.
Bow.
Yeah. The season finale of Season 1 of Ben 10 Classic.
It's been a road getting here. I've really enjoyed this whole experience doing Ben 10 and stuff. I think this episode is by far the best one of the whole season.
It's like anime level. Like
dude.
The animator said, we want action. We want it popping. It's going to be a wild ride from start to finish.
Barely any filler.
Yeah. It's all action all the time.
It's like boom.
It's literally what's so cool is the fact that you see it a lot. Like I got a lot of My Hero Academia vibes from this episode because the season that just passed of My Hero, the opening first 10 episodes is just fighting, right?
Yeah.
And right as they get to Shigaraki and they're fighting them and stuff, and like they're OP, and then you see someone that they have to be that OP to have that kind of fight.
Yeah.
So when first like opening scene of this episode is Ben just owning this car chase.
He's like peak Ben. Like he's perfected everything. It's
all come to this moment, and Diamond Head just easily dispatches this.
Doesn't even quip, doesn't say anything. He just cold does it, knocks him out, finishes up.
Yeah.
At one point, he intimidates a guy with his arm.
Turns his hand into a freaking diamond sword thing.
So that just shows you the level of maturity that I guess we've gotten to this point. We didn't really see that level of maturity during the episodes because, like we were talking about earlier, he kind of has some weird lapses in judgment and stuff. But
the fights stay that level throughout the whole episode, which is just peak.
And I think he's a little bit more mature. I mean, he's not listening to Grandpa like we were talking about.
Yeah, that was the main problem of the maturity part. He wasn't taking it seriously at all.
And I don't know that there's like any lesson learned. Maybe the lesson learned is just I
think this is just the culmination of this season.
Story beat.
Vilgax is here. Let's bring this story to a close.
And you know what? I love that they substitute story for action.
Straight action.
Yeah, because it really works for the show.
Yeah.
Especially we get a little mechanic. This is our first mechanic where Ben can not transform at will, but he's transforming. Like normally,
due to a malfunction of the watch,
right.
Which we know it's the writers saying we got to show every alien, we got to show him like balling out kind of thing. Because
also it's a wrench in the gear. It's like here's we're used to this mechanic of one alien at at a time, but now it's like you can't control which alien you're getting, so you got to just.
The only useless one was Ripjaw's. Everyone else served a part at some point.
I guess
Wildma he surrendered.
He surrendered.
But everyone else did something.
Gray Matter did something.
Even Gray Matter.
Yeah.
And then
he was like a less effective upgrade because upgrade turns into the thing and does a Beyblade spin.
And then Ripjaw's just water. I'm gonna die.
He's like, I hate this watch. Great, amazing little climax.
Way to end the season.
Yeah, such a hype ending. But yeah, that's the show.
Okay, bye. Get out of here, Stinky.
We're not gonna do like the
synopsis stuff. No, I think we've decided we're just gonna dive right in.
So yeah, the first scene we're talking about where he saves it's like a hostage
situation. Like a bank transport thing.
Truck.
Like they're moving money or something of that sort.
The guys have Splinter Cell masks on.
Yeah.
It's like they have like a little night vision goggle for some. I mean, it's like a gang or something.
It's at night, so I mean,
is it at night?
It was at night.
I will say I have some gripes with this scene specifically because I worked in the news field for 2 years, so I've got like news brain.
Big boy.
Yeah, I got a job and stuff. No longer in the news field. Don't work in that. If you're thinking about going into journalism, do not do it. Go and to business or something. Make some money.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Anyway, but this episode, it shows Diamond Head like attacking these villains, but it's like breaking news. It has like the little stingers and all this stuff on it, but it's like angles that a reporter could never get to.
Yeah. Like almost Spider-Man level when he's taking pictures for Spider-Man. It's like, how did you get this?
Exactly.
I climbed a flagpole.
Yeah, it's like cinematic shots, but like it's like got like the news banner on it. And the only reason it's the news is because we need Vilgax to know that Ben is solving crimes so he can lure him out later.
Which, thinking about it, Vilgax, we've now established, watches the news. What do you think he is, a Fox or a CNN guy? You know what I mean?
I don't know, but he definitely breaks one of his monitors. So I'm assuming it's nothing too like high stress. It must be like Nickelodeon News or something like that.
You picture Vilgax in a wife beater with a course light, breaks the screen, and one of his robots is dressed in a maid outfit. He backhand him.
What is he's watching like Fox News. He's like, the president's messing up again.
They're letting all the aliens in. Vilgax is like, how am I supposed to take over the world with all these aliens?
Build that wall.
Or he's just over there like, free healthcare, please. All my robots, they need healthcare.
Yes, I love Don Lemon. I just love the fact that because we pointed out right away, he broke one of his monitors, and we're like, "You're gonna have to pay for that." Like,
we both said that. We said, "Why'd you break your own property, man?" Like, come on.
He's pissed. Capital P pissed.
Something on the news he was not happy with. Man, turn the news off. No one's gaining anything.
I know, especially that toxic news cycle that we got now.
Oh,
woo, that was funny. Anyway, But yeah, so Ben doesn't say a word. I mean, he's using powers, like he's off screen and he uses diamonds to come up and stop the car, you know? So he's using all of his powers. I mean, he's fighting Vilgax's Diamond Head. We'll get into it a little bit later, but he's like punching him.
Yeah. He get nubs. Nubby.
He punches the nubs.
He's like, oh, I should have seen that coming. Great episode. Obviously, we loved it.
I'm
start to finish.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see what else happens. We go to.
So he stops it, and everything's like fine, and it's within like 30 seconds of being on the scene. He stops the whole thing.
Yeah,
and even the news people are like, "Oh my god, another alien sighting!" Obviously, we don't know who they are, but they're here to help.
Right, and I think we get some of that in the next season, where like, are they here to help? Like we get Kevin 11, who's like,
starting to dirty the name of the aliens, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I love like he must have. We know he talks to the news because of the Hex episode where he's like, "Who's your hero?" as Accelerate. So I'm assuming he tells people, "I'm an alien."
Yeah,
like they would have no other.
It's quite simple.
Yeah. They would have no other way to know. But so I don't know. Like the newscasters are all on board with it. They're like, yeah aliens are
well, they know it sells, you know?
I guess so.
They don't have to dig too deep in it. You just say aliens and everyone's watching.
Another alien in Rapid City, Utah.
The only country that aliens ever seem to land in.
Little Monsters vs. Aliens
It
joke.
is, bro. I love the fact.
How did I
Can we
know
talk
that right off
about
the
it?
bat?
There's a monster. There's a massive alien, and the president goes, "I'm gonna play the keyboard. I'm gonna shred these keys, bro, like you ain't never seen."
He's just like so sweaty and gross
he's
too. He's like. Dur, 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 dur.
What's funny is that movie and Space Chimps came out close to each other. They both do the dun 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 dun.
What else came out?
Space Chimps.
Space Chimps.
You know that
bro?
movie?
I've never seen that movie.
You're lying. It's got Patrick Warburton in it, and
I vaguely know what you mean.
the wife from RV. I don't know her name.
The fact that she's the wife from RV means she's not doing too
No,
well.
she's been in other movies. It's like the Michael Keaton.
Explain that, please.
So, well, side note, guys. We pride ourselves on our media knowledge. You know, we're a bunch of nerds. So one time we said something about Michael Keaton. And I said, oh, he's the one that played the snowman in Jack Frost. And this man got so mad at me. He goes, don't ever disrespect the best Batman to ever live by calling him a snowman.
He was like Beetlejuice, Batman, all these super iconic roles. And Steven's head ass was like, you know, Jack Frost.
It was a very good movie. There was a whole snowball fight. He's going behind enemy lines.
Straight ass. That movie's scary. He looks scary.
He doesn't.
He gets boobs at one
I know.
point.
He's like, oh, don't look.
All right. Maybe we should watch snowman movies at some point this winter.
There's like a snowman slasher film.
Oh, I think it's called Jack Frost, isn't it?
I don't know, but there's like 3 of them, I think.
We should watch those. That'd be fun.
They've got little mini ones that come after you.
So stupid.
Where were we?
We were talking about, what the hell were we talking about?
I don't know. Genuinely. Let's retrace our steps.
Jack Frost. Mom from RV, Space Chimps.
Oh, we were talking about Monsters vs. Aliens. How did we go that far?
This is beyond the binge level.
We're professionals. My mouth hurts.
I know. Okay, got a serious up here.
So anyway, as that is unfolding, Vilgax says that's when you see him. He's still in the tube, and he's like, to think that the power of the Omnitrix was wasting on these little antics or whatever.
He doesn't even know it's a child yet. He thinks he's like pointless heroics is what he says.
So one of his robots is like, you want us to send more drones? He goes, no, I'll deal with it myself. And opens up. You don't see him. You just see the silhouette of this absolute juiced guy. I'd love Dwayne Johnson to play Vilgax and Forearms at the same time.
Well, you know,
give me that Omnitrix, brother, or you're in a world of trouble.
He looks at his little squid daughter. Daddy's got to go to work.
The most unbelievable thing.
I love that so much. He's just not. His arm's not broken anymore.
He was like a full body cast. He just breaks it out.
Yeah, but Steve Blum, he voices Heat Blast and Vilgax, so I guess we could get Dwayne Johnson doing both.
Well, I said Forearms, but you know.
Oh, sorry. Let's cast Vilgax, though. Besides Dwayne Johnson, who do we want?
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham. Oh, buff.
Dolph Lundgren.
I want Kevin Hart or somebody. Hey, man. Give me that Omnitrix. Is that good?
That's a good one.
Thanks.
Good one, Coach Jones.
We'll move on from that.
So it pans back, and it's like him doing that. It's almost like Ben wakes up from like seeing it in his visions.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing where he kind of sees it, but like we don't know if it's actually just a nightmare or not.
There's like a plot thread that they didn't really follow. Where
there's almost like a connection between Vilgax and Ben.
Yeah, I think it's because Vilgax knows so much about the watch, and also there was that moment where they connected when he was Upgrade.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, I got this weird vision," and so it's weird that like. It makes sense when Ghost Freak is giving him visions because he's in the watch. Yeah. He's like in his DNA and stuff. So.
But Vilgax, it's like,
he's
I guess
loose.
just for the plot kind of thing.
And it could just be a nightmare because that was a traumatic event that Ben was like trying to fix this lady as Upgrade, and he saw this massive thing that eats him. You know.
Yeah. So Max is like, "Hey Ben, what's going on? You know, it could have been a nightmare and stuff." And Ben's like, "I don't know." He said, "I'm coming for you now." And Max is like, "Oh." He literally was like, "We're gone." They're like, it's 3 a.m.
Out of here.
He goes, "No, we got to get to Mount Rushmore."
He's like, "Shut your face! You're getting on the road."
So they're booking at the Mount Rushmore. We don't know why.
Yeah. Well, we know that Max, and because I remember in the Rojo episode.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, this alien. He had tentacles and he was whatever." And Max was like, "Oh, scared."
Yeah.
So we kind of know there's something up with Max and Vilgax. probably their names sound a little. They rhyme, so they probably are
Max Vilgax.
If I was a Ben 10 rapper, I probably would have put those together somehow.
Yeah.
I won't.
Thank
don't
God,
expect
yeah,
that.
Thank God you're not.
Yeah. So
because don't attempt it. It'd be bad.
I almost did.
No. You're like, I almost did, and then you had to shit on me like that.
No,
so.
it's okay. I won't do it.
Thank God. I'll do like an after credits where you're just like rapping.
Hey, yo.
No, don't do it. You stop right now.
Okay. Anyway,
so they're booking it down the road,
yeah.
and Max is serious, and Ben's like, I'm so bored, bro. And Gwen's like, he's like, Gwen, let me use your laptop. And she's like, no, you can entertain yourself. I'm using the laptop. So Ben turns in the upgrade, and he gets in the computer, and of course that alerts Vilgax to where he's at.
We've already seen that technology in the Hunter episode.
So we still haven't seen him. We just see like outlines of him and stuff. And then so he comes out of the computer, Ben does, and he's still messing around, and Max is having none of it. He's straight up like Ben. He calls him like Benjamin several times in this episode.
Well, he's like the voice acting too. Paul Eating is amazing in this. He's Benjamin, stop.
Yeah,
like he's very on it.
So he's like, stop. He's like, Grandpa, what's so wrong? He's like, why you got such a lead foot? He's like, we have to get to Mount Rushmore. He's like, why? I don't understand.
Yeah, just imagine your elderly grandpa who's taking you on vacation is like, we need to get to to like Key West, Florida, or something. We have got to get to
the Eiffel Tower by sundown.
We have got to get to the world's largest rubber band ball by 4 p.m. exactly.
The suspense is killing me.
Anyway, so they go and like Ben's looking out the window and they see like this, I guess Vilgax invades Rapid City, South Dakota. Maybe
we never figured out the state.
Editor
will put it in.
Well, South Dakota is where the Mount Rushmore is. So
okay.
I assume it's
Don't worry, editor will fix it for us.
Yeah. Thanks, Boo.
Boo dang.
I'm talking to the editor. So.
Yeah. But no, Vilgax starts laying waste to the city because he's literally like, I know what'll draw him out. He's a hero, so let's give him a villain. And bro, he is laying waste to that city, dude.
He is enjoying it. Vilgax is, I guess, like an alien warlord conqueror kind of a guy. Like that's what he does best. He just conquers with his little robots.
Just like skyscrapers reduced to rubble in the matter of seconds, dude.
And he's got this little spiky ball he's rolling around in.
Yeah,
it's like almost like the rolly round alien.
Cannonbolt.
Cannonbolt. Thank you.
The rolly round alien.
You know what I meant, though.
With the new show, that's probably what they named him.
Rolly round alien. No, they all keep the same names, but
thank God they kept that.
I will say Wrath. I saw an episode. I was looking up something for another episode about where he gets the Wrath gets the Lucha Libre suit.
Yeah,
and it's in Omniverse, not the reboot like I thought it was, but. In the reboot, they give it some other guys voicing Wrath, and I'm like, no, that's the whole point. John DiMaggio was the whole point of doing Wrath.
Yeah.
Like him being like, let me tell you something. Because now it's just some other guy doing a Wrath impression, and it doesn't work.
He's like, let me tell you something, hole, shaped like Wrath.
So anyway, Ben, and Grandpa's like, there's like a huge city laying waste thing happening. It's like hero bait, essentially.
Yeah.
And Ben's like, I'm going to go save those people. And Grandpa's like, he's like, I don't think that's the best idea. Like, he knows.
Yeah. Let's say you did, but don't.
Right. And then he just like, he jets off his heat blast.
Yeah.
And brother.
Dude, he is with it with heat blast,
He has perfected heat blast.
He's doing like spinny fire wheels against them. He's doing like aerial stuff.
Every trick in the book. He just like, I guess he like just like puts his hand out and they explode. Like, he just conjures fire from inside the robots or something.
He's on top of it.
He just like, he really, as Heat Blast, explores the power set to its fullest.
Yeah.
He flies to them anyway in the first place, so he can use the flight and stuff.
Yeah. On point. 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. Ben 10 out of 10.
Ben 10 out of 10. Gwen 10 out of 10.
No.
Oh, okay.
She's not invited.
She's not.
You're not in this episode.
She really takes a back seat, which, at this point, she...
I was doing that thing from Chowder. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're not invited.
Like, hello, what about me? No, you're not in this episode. And she, like, poofs out of there.
I just love he starts accidentally erasing, like, the Chowder, stop. He's like, this one doesn't come off. And they're pointing at the Cartoon Network logo.
I wonder if they kept that in for the DVD, because, like, they don't really put the watermarks for the DVDs. Yeah. Someone tell me.
It'd be weird if Gazpacho was like, this doesn't come off and there's nothing there. And people are just like, what?
Or like, they must have put in a little note, bake this thing into the thing.
Yeah, they could have. But, so Ben gets down there. He's trashing the robots. They're all done.
He doesn't get, like, any pushback at all, basically.
Knocks them out. And there's like 100 robots.
Yeah.
At least.
Must be. There's at least 10.
Yeah. But, so then... out of nowhere, this big like electric net traps him against the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when the big roly-boly ball of death, and it opens up like a little like cylinder kind of pill thing, and out comes an absolute specimen.
Bill Gax.
Yeah.
That's a character in Omniverse.
Kill Bill Gax.
That's a character in Omniverse. He's like some old guy with like a beard. And he's as tall as Vilgax is, but his name is Bill Gax. And so everyone's like, it's Vilgax. And he goes, oh, I'm just Bill.
It's like Beta Ray Bill.
Kind of, I guess.
Thor, with the plunger.
Shut up, bro. Explain that now.
I'm not explaining it.
The superhero squad is the only knowledge that Steven has of Beta Ray Bill, one of my favorite Marvel characters.
You got to show the superhero squad version of him.
I'll put him up. He's got like the plunger.
He's like a janitor, and he gets a plunger with Thor's powers.
Stupidest interpretation.
In the comics, the weapon he actually gets is the weapon that
Stormbreaker.
Thor, Stormbreaker, the one that Thor gets in the
I think it's
War
named that. I don't know if
in game.
I don't know.
He's probably really cool, but I like shitting on
He's
him.
a cool looking alien. He's a horse face and he's got Thor powers. I like him better than Thor. I just think he's so cool. And they haven't put him in any of the movies yet, so explain that to me.
You see his face on one of like the towers. Remember that?
Oh, in Ragnarok maybe.
Yeah,
like he was in the Conquest of Champions or whatever.
There was somewhere. But so Vilgax comes out and he's like, like bring it on. I need the Omnitrix kind of thing. So Ben's like, no, I'm gonna beat your ass, bro.
He melts the little thingies like the.
Oh yeah, like thing. Nothing, dude. Just fries it.
And
he said, okay, let's go.
And I'm thinking like, oh yeah, surely Vilgax knows how to disarm a Pyronite. Like he can just use like a extinguisher or something.
Yeah.
No, he just shoots like a little electricity thing and Ben melts it out.
Yeah, so Ben goes up there, starts punching him, and Vilgax is just not phased at all.
It's like punching his leg. It's it's like a toddler hitting an adult. It's just like nothing.
And Vilgax just slowly picks him up, like by both hands, tosses him
effortlessly.
Yeah, through 8 skyscrapers. It gives you like when Superman fights Darkseid in like the Justice League animated series or whatever. Like he literally punches him. It's the same thing, just do.
It reminds me too. Have you seen the Sandman fight from the new PS4 Spider-Man 2?
PS5.
PS5. Yeah, what did I say? PS2?
You said PS2 and 4.
PS5?
You'll get there. Just keep counting.
Don't play that on a PS4. It'll explode the engine.
It'll be a Samsung 5 all over again.
But there's a fight with the Sandman and Miles Morales where he like picks him up and he just like no, and like he goes through one building and you're like, oh, he's gonna stop and slow down, but he flies over like 6 more buildings. It's like insane.
They just like it. It's a good like.
It's fun.
It's epic.
It's very epic. It's like it's scaled up. Like Ben crashes through 1 million buildings.
And you're like, okay, this guy, he's like 15 foot tall, dude. He's big.
Ben he's like, who is this guy?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Big boy. He could have been putting connections together of like, I've seen all these robots a ton.
Yeah.
I've seen these robots at least 3 or 4 times. And, I've never seen this guy with them. So he could have put the pieces like that's the robot guy who's been sitting there.
Vilgax, you're not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. No. Hey.
Is that this bitch empty?
Yeet.
How many Vine references?
I'm sure
we'll find another one.
Yeah. So he gets back up, and I think at this point, Ben like starts melting the concrete.
Yeah. To try and stop him, he's like, I got to slow this guy down.
And I think that is character growth because think back to the Rojo episode when the boulders are coming down about to crash the hospital. He melts the he tries to melt the rocks, but he can't do that. So then he melts the ambulances instead. But he could have just. I mean, I guess he's learned like, oh, I can melt the concrete or the asphalt or whatever. And so Vilgax is kind of like struggling in that. He's kind of sinking in the muck.
Yeah. And Ben, this is where you see like the maturity is kind of still because he's like showboating, flaunting and stuff like, oh yeah, you're not that bad kind of thing. And Max shows up. He says, get in the car right now. We're gone. He's like, no, I'm about to beat this guy up kind of thing.
Like, get in, losers. We're going shopping.
Yeah. And then his watch chimes on. He's like, okay, yeah, we'll get in the car. And they book it.
They had all.
And then Max name drops Vilgax. Like, you don't want to get in a fight with Vilgax. He's like, well, how do you know?
And they're all like, what are you talking about, Grandpa? How do you know? Why are we still going to Mount Rushmore? There's clearly a threat here.
Yeah, he's like, he's right here, and you want to go sightseeing?
So, Vilgax easily gets out of it. Then he starts coming back out. Drones come out.
Yeah, the drones are coming out. And Max is like, don't engage. We just need to get out.
Yeah. And it's a quick turnaround on the watch, too. The watch is like, okay, you want to fight? Let's fight.
Can say even the watch is like, nah, bro, put me in, coach.
And so Stinkfly comes up, and they do a cool little fight scene with the drones. He shoots bile or spit or whatever at the laser, laser gun. It kind of backfires and explodes that drone, and then I keep want to call him Vilgax, but he's
he uses a can opener.
Yeah, his little tail. And he like crashes the rudder or something, so then the thing falls. And then you see Vilgax from like way in the distance.
Just jump.
And then he just like grabs onto his tail with perfect precision. Yeah. He strikes this awesome pose as they're flying around.
Yeah.
And then
it's so funny too because before that, like Ben's like flaunting again on the robots, like, "Oh, I'm bad."
Who's bad? He says, "Float like a butterfly, sting like a stingfly."
And you see the silhouette of Vilgax, and he just jumps, and you're like, "Oh, bro,
it's time."
Yeah.
To
duel.
So he shoots him down off of his tail with his little spit.
He jumps back up at him again.
Yeah, and then he I think he brings him to the ground at that point, doesn't he?
No, he misses, and Ben like flies this way.
He catches him.
Yeah, he catches him. He's like, I have enough of this, and he's like struggling, and he touches the symbol.
Dial. Yeah, and then he turns back into Ben, and he's like, a child.
Yeah,
He's like, what's worse than a rapist?
A child.
A child. We got another one in there.
Yes.
That's another Vine reference in there. So. After that, then they just take him on his little rolly ball, and then he explodes like 3 or 4 more buildings on the way out.
Yeah, dude. I feel like add insult to injury, he just literally turns around, goes through a building. And Max,
like, I've had enough of this place. I'm getting out of here.
Max and Gwen are driving away, and Gwen's like, "Hey, Ben's gone. What are we doing?" And Max is like, "We're going to Mount Rushmore for the last time."
And then she's like, "What? What possibly could there be at Mount Rushmore?" And he goes, "Not now. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you when you're older." So, so then I guess they get up on the ship, or, no, then it's just Ben and Vilgax on the ship, and I guess they explain, like, this is the...
Yeah, that's where Vilgax starts talking about, like, do you understand what you have on your... Yeah. Imagine hundreds of these on all of your whole army having an Omnitrix.
Which...
That's universal domination.
We can kind of talk about, like, no one else really makes another Omnitrix, and I guess...
because only Azimuth knows how. Well, his assistant makes one.
Well, he helps him. You mean Albedo?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about the Vilgax girl from the movie.
Oh, I remember that too.
She was they just dropped her character.
Yeah,
completely.
they dropped her hard.
I mean, I think she may come back once. Probably not.
Yeah.
I know they go to like Ultimate Alien, or maybe it's Omniverse even. They go to Vilgax's home planet at some point, and they're like, they see that like Vilgax is like a pretty good ruler, or maybe it's like North Korea situation where like, oh yeah, we think it's good, but we don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems to care because Ghost Freak is messing with his steez. Was that? Did you remember the scene?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So Ghost Freak is like trying to take over Vilgax's home planet. So Vilgax comes and asks for Ben for help, and so Ben and Vilgax are like helping each other out.
Was that in Ultimate Alien?
I think it might be. I don't remember.
I think it was in one of them.
It honestly just blends together at some point.
I think I remember that. Either
I feel
you
like
showed
it's
me
Ultimate
an
Alien.
Omniverse, but
I don't. Yeah.
No. Okay.
So anyway, that's a good plot line, but you see, like, Vilgax is he's the ruler of this species or whatever. Yeah. So there's other Vilgax-ish aliens out there.
Yeah.
Their name is very complicated. It's like 3 or 4 words to be like a species name.
But we just know right now that he, like you said, he's a conqueror. He wants just enough Omnitrixes to supply his whole army, and then he can just take over the universe. He literally wants universal domination, not galaxy. Universal.
Right, and that would be a great movie to see if like Vilgax got the Omnitrix and he could reproduce it,
like a what if movie.
Yeah, dude, and seeing like all the Omnitrix wielders just like going crazy and destroying planets in like minutes, like taken over.
It'd be like the Scarab, like the Blue Beetle Scarab.
Yeah, and honestly, imagine if each one of them got the Alien X or whatever.
Yeah, because you'd only need one Omnitrix per planet. You really would.
Yeah, I mean, if Alien X rewrites the whole history of the universe, so like you just need him.
That's why I think Alien X was a bad.
They power scaled way too hard on that.
And way too fast. Because if he existed in this, he wouldn't care about making a bunch. He would just want the Omnitrix to be Alien X, and then he would have universal rule.
Also, why didn't Ben like scan Vilgax? Like, why didn't he try to? I guess his Omnitrix is kind of on the fritz.
Yeah. He doesn't know. The Omnitrix does it, but it's a later feature.
That's true. And Vilgax does touch it, but Vilgax knows not to, I guess, put his own DNA in there or whatever.
Not. So. It's crazy how much he knows about the Omnitrix, even though he never was. We learned throughout the series that he's never there for any part of the production of that.
No, but I guess he studied it. Like that's the only real. Because in this episode, he says like this is a struggle. This is the key to a struggle that's so ancient and long and yada yada. So I think he probably just either studied Asimov's texts or he like figured out maybe he found Albedo and talked to him or something. I don't know.
Vilgax knows a lot though.
But at the end of Alien Force, when he gets it finally, he's like, who should I turn into? And he like can't really use it.
Yeah.
Maybe he just forgot. I don't know. You know what I mean?
It was so goofy.
There's some inconsistencies throughout,
sure.
but
maybe it's a kid's cartoon show.
I mean, I'm looking for the detail.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know you are, but the 10-year-olds they're marketing it to are not.
I know.
But so while they're doing that, and you see him bring up all these different blades, like, oh, I'm going to take it off you kind of thing. Max and Gwen are driving to Mount Rushmore, and she's like, Grandpa, I don't think we're allowed over here. You know, he's like, we're not visitors, we're tenants.
Ben tenants.
And she's just like, nothing you're saying is making sense, and you're doing it up on purpose at this point.
Yeah.
The whole drive over, he could have explained everything.
He's
they're
like,
just
no time.
driving in silence. Yeah, no time while we're literally just driving on the road.
It's gonna be frustrating.
Yeah, so he presses a button on the RV.
Gwen, I was part of a secret society that's called the Plumbers, but we really, stopped alien destruction.
Yeah, there you go. All of our weapons and stuff are at, you guessed it, Mount Rushmore.
I know Vilgax because I fought him and beat him.
Yeah, we're lifelong enemies. Wow, Grandpa, that's crazy.
That's big crazy.
Yeah. Look, that was only 2 seconds.
We're done!
Yeah.
Tell her!
It's so dumb. But, so they go in and you see like these just levels upon levels upon levels under Mount Rushmore, and you're like, whoa, this must be, we know it, but it's the plumber.
It kind of reminds me of Men in Black a good bit.
Yeah. I think that's the vibe they were trying to go with. Mm-hmm. So he goes and he's opening each of these cases, just opening it. He's like, wrong, not it. And he pulls out this just massive gun.
It's like a chest. Reminded me of the Guardians of the Galaxy gun where like they're going to explode the planet or whatever.
Yeah,
the planet exploding gun.
Yeah, and it doesn't even do anything.
It shoots like the hammer that has the Infinity Stone in it or something.
Yeah, so it did do something. You're right.
But it's they try it once, it doesn't work, and then Drax like has it on later, and what a great film.
I love Drax.
Yeah.
So he finally finds the gun, and he's like, this is all he says. He goes, let's just say I wasn't your average plumber. What is that? Obviously, Grandpa, I can see that.
You've got a big space gun, and yeah. Unless that was for clogging toilets.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Under it.
Yeah,
You're still not giving me answers.
He could have said something. I mean,
anything.
They go up to space to get in the ship. Well, not in space. It's just kind of hovering.
Yeah,
the ship
it's like in mid-atmosphere.
I don't know why Vilgax doesn't just go away.
Yeah, like why is he staying on? Because I think afterwards he wants to destroy the planet. He literally says, then I can destroy this miserable planet once and for all. Like, he wants to destroy it.
He's hung around for a minute, so he's been watching the news.
He's been watching the news, and he goes, honestly, I'm sick of it.
It's time. Yeah, y'all just can't get your crap together, dude. Yeah, so.
Dumb. So that's when, and they're just low enough, that they can. So Max is like, we got to get on the ship.
Yeah.
He's like, how? He's like, press this button. And out comes these like fenders. What would you call it? Like a bumper.
Battling or a battle ram. It's like a ram kind of a thing.
And that's it. He doesn't even speed up or anything. I was expecting like big engines on the back.
Yeah, like
don't we get that at some point?
I think he kind of revealed it like, oh yeah, the Rust Bucket can kind of fly.
Yeah,
like it has like wings but he could have added that after this. Yeah. I don't know.
So, he uses it, batters into Vilgax's ship conveniently right in the room that Vilgax is taking this massive nasty sword to cut.
It's a
Ben's
huge ship too. It's a big old ship.
Yeah, and just luckily.
Like driving from one end of the ship to the other would take like an hour and a half.
If you compare like a UNSC like Halo ship, it looks a lot like Vilgax's. It's like a rectangle and stuff. Yeah. It looks pretty cool.
Or inspiration.
I'll show you afterwards. So if you want to put it up,
I'll put it up on screen.
But so he gets in there and they wreck into Vilgax, and he gets out and he says the most badass line. He's like, "Get your claws off my grandson, Vilgax," and then blasts him out of the rocket.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
And that's when Ben's Omnitrix starts getting messed up. There's like a power surge because of the wreckage and stuff, and he starts just warping, bro.
Well, he's strung up in this little thing, and his Omnitrix is all covered in machinery.
Yeah.
So then he's like, it's kind of like Blue Beetle or the Incredibles, or they're all strung up like in.
They just like stringing people up.
I guess. I guess so. But it's sort of like, it reminds me a lot of the Incredibles where they're like, it's like a force field. And they're like, but he turns into forearms just eventually, and then he just rips everything off, and then he gets out of there.
Big missed opportunity right there.
What?
I wanted like a Hulk Thanos fight, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Forearms versus Vilgax would be the good one.
Yeah, Forearms didn't fight him at all.
Yeah. I think it's because they want to show that Vilgax has the upper hand no matter who he turns into.
Yeah,
because he loses every fight against Vilgax.
I would still like to see that, you know what I mean? Like you were saying, Hulk and Thorax.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Danny DeVito versus Lou Ferrigno.
I guess so. Anyway, but he fights a good bit of the aliens. At this point, Ben's just wildly changing back and forth.
He uses gray matter.
He uses gray matter effectively. He's done that before, where he can
like crawl in and mess up.
Crawl in and tear up the things, and then he turns an upgrade while he's in there conveniently, and he turns the thing into a Beyblade and lets it rip, and I guess he like grows blades out of the side of it.
Yeah, and just freaking upgrades it.
He upgrades it, I guess. Yeah, that's the key. I mean, we don't really. Again, upgrade is frustrating because I don't
let
get
it go, man.
I don't understand. Like, were there blades already in there? Does he like have blades he can just create?
It's nanotech.
Okay, it's magic too.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about it, guys. We're gonna do an Iron Man trilogy talk, and we talk about how like it goes from like a mechanical like suit building thing to by the end of it, it's like a Deus Ex Machina where it's just like, oh, it's just nanotech.
Yeah,
it just works.
Everyone's got nanotech.
You don't have to explain it. It's just nanotech.
I gave Spider-Man nanotech at this point.
So so that's what I'm saying is upgrade just nanotech.
Nanotech.
Don't think about it.
Okay. but so yeah, it's a cool fight scene, and then eventually Vilgax comes back.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even show how he just kind of ominously comes in and punches Grandpa Max.
And he gets on his foot on his neck, and he's just like, I hate you, Max.
He literally could have just splat, and it would have been over.
But he's a showboat, and he's one of those kind of a
Copy monologuing.
Exactly. Another Incredibles.
Yeah. So that's when Ben is still upgrade, just flying tackles Vilgax out of the ship.
Amazing little form tackle. Another Incredibles reference here. Upgrades like floats on air. Like he gets flat and he starts like kind of like
Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah. Like when they fall out of the airplane, she just kind of flattens herself.
Like, look at mommy, look at mommy.
God, that's insane. Dude.
Yeah.
That movie is so incredible.
Oh yeah.
Pun not intended, actually.
But just 100%.
The word was on my brain and it just came out.
Yeah. I wonder why. So he's floating down on the Mount Rushmore, and Vilgax just eats it, bro.
Yeah, he falls full, 200, 300 miles.
No.
At least.
No. So, but anyway, regardless of the distance, not that much, he just gets up, bro. Like, just gets up.
He gets up and he jumps back up on top of Mount Rushmore.
While Ben is struggling, because as he floats, he turns into Ripjaws, and he's like hanging onto someone's nose, and he's like, I can't breathe. Yeah. He's like trying to climb back up.
It's the funniest thing too. I hate this watch.
Yeah.
But he's upgraded, and then he turns into Ripjaws, and he just falls onto the face of a dead
He's
president.
like suffocating, and Vilgax gets there. He's like, finally, I can take you on. He's like, oh.
Yeah, he goes, you're a slippery little fish. I was
he's like, I'm literally dying, bro. Please.
But then he starts to punch him, and then he turns into Accelerate, and like the instant he's Accelerate, gone.
Yeah, runs away. But then he goes, no, I can take him. Runs back to punch him.
Such a funny moment. He's like, I've got you now, and he's just like sprinting toward him, about to hit him with a mega punch, and then he just like he's
like, I'm gonna feel that one in the morning. And so Vilgax grabs him by the tail, just starts swinging him, and then tosses him into another mountain.
Doesn't he like break one of the heads?
Dude. And Accelerate's just tanking it. He's got his helmet on, so
I guess he's fine.
So he's just laying there, dead.
And then he's about to hit like a final he's about to decapitate him or something, probably.
Yeah, he's just, I'm gonna punch a hole in your chest.
I'm gonna donut you like freaking any JoJo character or something.
And he turns into Ghost Freak right in the nick of time.
And he loves to watch again.
Yeah. He's like, I love this one. And then he just phases through the ground of the Mount Rushmore.
You were talking about Lemillion, or talking about My Hero Academia. And I was thinking about Lemillion, where he's like, he can phase in and out, but he can't coexist with the ground as a person who's got like physical form. So like whenever he turns back into the ground, he like has
it shoots him out.
Yeah, he has like velocity at that point. I was thinking, what if Vilgax? What if Ghost Freak?
Everyone's name is Vilgax.
I can't quit saying Vilgax. What if
It's
Ghost
voiced
Freak?
by the same guy.
Oh yeah, Ghost Freak and Vilgax are. Yeah. Honestly, we get all the voices in this episode.
Yeah,
like,
we have.
We see Richard Horvitz's Gray Matter, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're not going to get Richard Horvitz for this. He's going to be 2 seconds of Gray Matter ripping wires. No, he's like, he says something. He's like a can of.
Your coast is toast or something. Your coast is.
The coast is toast, or the toaster is toasted, or something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear. They didn't need that line. But it's funny. It's cool that they got the guy to do it.
But you're saying if Ghost Freak came out?
Yeah, like just full 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
From 200 miles away.
We need to take you back to geography.
I know.
Do you even know where Mount Rushmore is?
I don't even know what the word geography means.
That's awesome. It's the study of rocks, idiot.
It's South Dakota. You didn't know where it was. I told you.
That was geology. I said the study of rocks.
Oh, I see.
I
was like, I didn't get it.
So he floats away, and we pan back to the ship, and Max can pilot the ship.
Yeah.
He's not your average plumber.
No.
No.
He's
no.
He's clearly something else.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's not. You know what? He is a plumber.
But so he's piloting the ship down, and then he's doing some other stuff. He goes, "Okay, we got to go now." So he gets on the. I wanted to say boat, but he gets on.
the boat.
He gets on the rust bucket, and they fly out. But it's not the smoothest landing. They're a little disoriented and stuff, and Vilgax shows up. And so when Ben gets there, he's like looking for him, and the rust bucket's all beat up and stuff. And he sees Vilgax has got them both, just holding them both. He's like, "It's you or them." So he had turned into Wild Mud at that point, ready to go.
And then it seemed like he was about to give him hell. He's like, "Nah," he yells at him, and then
the guy's like, "I'm going to kill them, or I'll take you." And
he
goes,
okay.
So he turns him back into a human and carries him back into the ship. And Max is like, "Don't go in there, please."
Some Daffy Duck shit right there. Don't go in there. Oh, okay. And he runs in there.
No, that's a... What's his name? What's the cat's name?
Sylvester.
Yeah, that's a Sylvester.
Fuckering fuckata.
Yeah. Every time I think Daffy Duck, I just think of him dueling Donald Duck.
Oh, in the Roger Rabbit thing?
Yeah, the Roger Rabbit. They're just playing the piano. Scene. And then they shoot each other or something too.
Yeah, there's cannons built into the piano.
Yeah, dude. I love that movie.
It's a fantastic film.
Yeah, it's an incredible film.
It's an incredible piece of cinema.
Yeah.
So back to Ben 10, which is also an incredible piece of cinema, I think. We get Vilgax being like, "Why would I not go back in the?" He's like, "Why would I not do that?"
Yeah.
And then he's got Ben just sitting there. Ben I guess he's like, "Oh crap, it's about to self-destruct." Ben picks up the gun.
Yeah.
One final parting shot knocks Vilgax over, and he's like, "Ah."
And then something lands on him, so he's just chilling.
Yeah. Well, he's not chilling for long.
Oh yeah, he yells like "Tedison," yeah. And Ben jumps out. And it's so cool. As he's jumping out, he turns into Heat Blast. Yeah. And it's not like the animation thing. It's full on in the show turning into...
One of the only time, probably the only time we get in between
this kind
frames
of transition
of Ben turning into Heat Blast.
Imagine drawing that. That had to be rough.
Pretty creepy. I paused while I was watching it the first time, and I was like, "Okay, it doesn't look the best." It's just it looks like the Thing or something.
Yeah, he does for a second look like the Thing.
Just like a couple briquettes on his face.
Ben Grimm is an American hero.
Ben 10 is an American hero.
I was saying for the Thing.
I know, but I'm saying
Ben 10, Ben Grimm. It works.
They could have babies, probably.
No.
Oh, that's not how that works. They're just kind of rocky aliens. I didn't know.
Adrian!
Hold on, doesn't
He's got a bunch of Ben Grimm Rockies. They're all boxing.
Doesn't Korg's whole species have kind of a gay thing going on? Like they can make babies without being.
Yeah, but it was weird because at first he had a mom.
He had a stepdad.
Yeah, right? And a mom, but then they said no. I was made from two dads.
Anyway, again, another inconsistency for the 10-year-olds watching.
Yeah. So the ship blows up.
Yeah.
Which I guess they're just cool with thinking Vilgax is gone from that.
Well, that makes me feel like Ben is definitely a killer because you don't come back from killing an alien.
Well,
warlord.
Max is the one that did it.
No, Ben shoots him.
Okay, but Max is self-destruct the ship.
They both have a. If this was court,
he's assisted murder.
If this was in court, they'd both be going to jail.
Yeah. He's accessory to murder. There you go.
But I guess when it's a warlord.
So is Gwen.
Yeah, Gwen's definitely involved.
They're both accessories.
Gwen might have
been
the mastermind.
And Max is the murderer. That's how it would go.
So anyway,
if any of Vilgax's
I don't know because if Cypher or whatever wants to sue him, you good?
Is there I was scratching my ear and then it just popped me. Is there like let's say he does kill Vilgax, could he be held? Is it murder?
I think
legally.
Oh, you mean on Earth?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You leaning out of frame, brother?
Can I?
Yeah, goodbye. I can do it too.
Yeah. This is what you guys are watching. I love how you actually
Don't you love it? I started falling asleep. I've got all these blankets on the wall. Oh, Batman's here. Look at Batman.
We like it. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
They're sleeping. Vilgax is sleeping in a million pieces.
Well, clearly he comes back and he's he's in
spoiler.
Spoiler.
Is he in season 2?
He's in the finale with Kevin 11.
Is he say something okay, you're cool. You're only getting the season finales. That's all you get.
He might come in at some point. He might recruit Kevin 11 or something. I don't think he does.
Yeah, that's when they send him to Null Void.
And then, they both go to the Null Void at the same time. Yeah. And then somehow he gets out, but Kevin doesn't or something.
Yeah. Weird.
Season 3 is mainly Ghost Freak, I think.
Yeah. So Ben lands, and he's totally done a superhero landing where the dust settles, and Ben's sitting there, sitting down. And he turns around with his, cocky smile.
Oh, dude, it's so cool.
And he goes, Grandpa, we need to talk. And then that's this episode. You know what I mean? What a cool episode, dude.
Such a good ending to the first season.
And, when we were kids, I don't ever remember. I never watched this consecutively, so I don't remember ever there being a break in between seasons. I just watched the show when it was on, so I never had to wait. But
Tons of marathons and stuff,
Yeah, so, but imagine that now when we were watching it, I'd be like, okay, how long is it going to be Invincible? 2 years before we get the next
episode?
Season? Yeah. What is that from?
Toy Story 2.
Oh, yeah. That was it. They were canceled.
No. Yeah, really
they
good.
They said
episode.
Cowboys were out.
Spaceman's in.
Spaceman's in.
I guess that happened in real life. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Westerns were. Well, I think Westerns back in the day were like superhero movies now.
Oh, yeah.
There was that many.
There was sort of like a resurgence in Westerns in like late, 2010s.
Yeah, well, like Magnificent Seven.
The Hateful Eight, and all that stuff came out.
Ridiculous
Django,
Six.
Ridiculous Six, I guess. Technically counts.
Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh, yeah. Which is weird. Like, those two parodies come out.
Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, yeah, dude. Cowboys and Aliens.
It wasn't good.
I like Cowboys and Aliens.
It's not good, and you know it.
No, I liked it.
Yeah, so that's the episode. That's the closure of season 1.
And now we're done.
Yeah,
forever.
Get out of here. We're done.
Is that it? Are you ending on that?
No, we can talk about.
Say goodbye.
What are your thoughts on the season? Did it tie up everything you wanted?
If you've seen,
it left you a little bit. We still don't know Max's.
Yeah, and I think
story.
The Watch is still sort of. I mean, it's not acting funny when he gets back to Earth, but the Watch is still sort of unexplored.
Yeah, it's always. I mean, it doesn't really truly get explored.
Well, we figure out more about it. Like he gets the ability to scan aliens.
Yeah,
and he just starts randomly unlocking aliens.
Yeah,
like
they just start
Cannonbolt and
Wildvine, Upchuck.
No, Upchuck was programmed in by the lady.
Oh yeah, so we get 5, 6 new aliens next season.
I don't know if Upchuck is next season or not. I think Upchuck might be season 3.
So okay, so what do we get? We get Cannonbolt and
Wildvine.
Is that it?
I think that might be it.
Only 2 more?
Yeah.
Dang.
Anyway, baller
episode. Yeah. A baller season, baller show.
Yeah. I guess like critically rewatching it because I've rewatched this like a couple, a year ago maybe.
Yeah, that's
rewatched
right around you did. Like as you were finishing Ben 10 Classic and starting Alien Force, I started Ben 10 Classic.
And I'd never seen Omniverse before that last rewatch, so like that was all new to me. And I was like, this is awesome, and I loved it. I got into it. I'm trying to watch the reboot now. It doesn't. I can't. Like I'm sorry. Like it's fine.
It's bad.
It's fine for like kids, I'm sure, but it's like it's that humor that I hate, where it's like I'm making a joke. You hear that I'm making a joke?
Because this is gonna sound weird. I guess there are no grown up you just watch anime now. You know what I mean? Because grown up shows are just like Rick and Morty. I don't like it.
Adult cartoons.
Yeah, adult cartoons just aren't
Big
good.
Mouth.
Yeah, Big Mouth. You've got. Like Velma's supposed to be grown. I don't want that. Just give me My Adventures with Superman is perfect.
It's cool.
Give me more just superhero grown-up cartoon shows.
Have you seen that? It's called like Unicorn Force or something. It's on Adult Swim.
No.
I'll show you what it looks like. You don't have to watch it, but I think it's sort of like a adult like action sort of cartoon.
Yeah.
Netflix has got some stuff going too. I haven't watched it.
There's another show that looks like Rick and Morty, but it's about like Greek. Like this guy who's like the son of like some Greek goddess.
Oh, that could be fun.
He's like socially awkward.
I don't like that art style either. Give us cool art style.
I hate that art style.
If something was in the art style of Ben 10 or even like Alien Force, I would love that.
Please.
Like, that's the style I love the most.
I'm so tired of the Rick and Morty or Big Mouth
or Family Guy, like that just lazy looking style.
It's so bad, dude.
Even like The Simpsons is more stylized than that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm just done with that. Give me something new.
Give me, well, the problem is
like if you can do anime, if adults can watch anime, which I know there's a whole thing about should you be watching anime, whatever. But come on, step up the animation style. You got Castlevania on Netflix. That was good.
Yeah. Well, that's an American anime, right?
That's what I'm saying. So you can do good animation. We've seen it. You know,
it doesn't need to be that style necessarily.
I'm just saying
that caters to a
than
Japanese audience too. You know, I don't know. I think there's a couple things that we're probably missing, and like family films are always fine. Like Pixar stuff's always fine or whatever.
Yeah, I'm never against the Pixar film.
I would love a Ben 10 like gritty anime.
Yeah,
for sure. Like this lore in this world, but like in. Like
it'd be
gritty,
so sick.
You know what I mean?
It'd be so sick.
See some of Vilgax's backstory. I'll be down for that.
Dude, you could do so much adult Ben 10 stuff.
Yeah.
But that doesn't sell toys. That's the whole reason.
Dude, imagine like a Rip Jaws like horror scene where he's tearing into people.
Yeah. Because, I mean, look at Invincible. Invincible's perfect.
Invincible is perfect.
Perfect. That's
that
exactly.
better change. Yeah. Okay, and Seth Rogen, like, I know, his humor's whatever.
Love him or hate him,
He's changing the game, dude.
Yeah.
Him and, like, Phil Miller and Lord or whatever their names are. Phil. I think it's.
Is he also
Phil
working on
Lord.
Invincible or something?
No, he did Spider-Verse, which
Yeah,
is like
changing
the
the game, dude.
That influenced Puss in Boots. That influenced the new TMNT movie. Those are all the same.
Great.
They're all the same style, but I think they're letting people be a little bit more weird with what they're making, like in big
and not in a
AAA
weird,
budgets.
cringy way.
Right. I mean, I think for the most part, and I think Invincible, it was huge.
That's what I want. That and like My Adventures with Superman are the way I want like adult, because it can apply to kids or well, not Invincible. Don't let
show
your
kids
kid.
that.
But I was thinking like that whole scene in Rapid City. Imagine an Invincible. That scene goes completely different.
Oh yeah,
completely
different.
But it would have been good.
Dude, I love Ben 10 so much. I would like the worst thing they could do is do another reboot where it's just like.
If it's for us though, like grown up,
oh yeah,
I'd take it
because that's who's interested in Ben 10 now.
Yeah.
I mean, like kids don't really care about Ben 10.
I'd love to see the ratings for this show, the new show for kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are kids watching it?
It did. You mean like the new reboot?
Yeah,
it came out in 2016. It's finished now, but I think it did well enough to like get a bunch of seasons. So I think it had like 5 or 6 seasons. So I think it did okay.
Yeah,
but
I mean, kids will watch anything.
That's what I'm saying, and like it's got enough brand power. That's what I'm saying about Ben 10 in general. It's got enough brand awareness that you could totally bring it back. Or what I think they should do is make a movie, just make like a live action thing, like a superhero style film.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I like the cartoon enough. They could do more cartoon stuff. I think grown up adult sort of
cartoon.
I
like watching cartoons. Is that bad?
No, I think it's fun. And I think that, like, realizing that, like, animation is an art form. It's not like that's just for kids. Like, it shouldn't be. The fact that there's only, like, an animation category at the Oscars, like you can only put your horror films, your comedy films, your romance films
for animation.
in one category. Are you kidding me?
It's a film.
Also,
put
like,
it in the categories.
It's best movie. Like, when's an animation film going to win best movie?
Yeah.
Never. This is like a weird bias against it for some
They're
reason.
really, because it's snooty critics.
I know, but I think after our generation,
Patrick Scorsese would die.
Patrick Scorsese.
What's his name? I said it so bad, didn't I? Martin. That's who it is. I was thinking Patrick Swayze, bro. I don't know why I got those two.
Michael Keaton is the best Jack Frost I've ever seen.
But Martin Scorsese would die if he saw like the Spider-Verse movie.
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard him talk about animation. I know he hates superhero films, but
yeah, it makes you think he's not the best fan of like anime things. He may not think that's film either.
I'm curious though. I wonder if he's talked about it.
Yeah, let's ask him. Let's get him on the show.
Hey, Marty!
He's like, don't call me that.
Don't say that to me. He's on TikTok. His daughter does TikTok, and so he'll get on her account and start posting stuff. And I think he just joined Letterboxd too.
We need to look at that.
I think it's funny. The stuff that I've seen, she's like, okay, to be out of pocket means you're saying something crazy or unjust, and he's like, oh, okay, so whenever they reviewed my film poorly, that was out of pocket. it was something like that. It was really funny.
I love that.
Anyway, do you have anything else to say about this season 1 or season?
No. Yeah. Thanks again for the 100 subscribers, guys.
Thank you.
It's not over. We'll have season 2.
We breached 100 subscribers before we finished doing the first season. So that's like a big milestone for us.
End of season 2, let's have 200 subscribers.
Also, we've been getting more comments recently. I don't know what the deal is, but thank you
for
commenting.
Not all of them positive.
It's okay.
But we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.